It's Mikey. I just like to say hello.
And good morning, Hard Wheels Racing fans, and a big good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the Hard Wheels Racing team drivers. And if you want to be a part of that, remember, just comment in the section below, Hard Wheels Racing team. We'll put your name on the roster, and when there's a big race day, you might be one of the random drivers. We randomly pull them out of the banana bag and assign you a vehicle, and you can join us racing down the track just for some fun bragging rights or whatever you want out of it. So if I still kind of look like this, I just had breakfast, got my warm coffee in my little Lucasfilm special mug over here. Thank you to all the comments that we've been receiving. Some of the comments have been about the track specifically, and then also the vehicles. Comments about the track. Some people asked, how do the vehicles run? What degree is the track? Now, this track is at 3 to 4 degrees only, so it's very flat. In fact, I had friends over, which we actually played the one-on-one, the drag racing thing, and they asked me, like, how do you make the cars go? I'm like, I don't understand. It's like, how do they go? I'm like, it's just gravity. The track's actually, it goes on a little incline or decline, I guess, if you're going down. And they're like, what? It's so few degrees that it almost looks flat horizontally. And they thought I was doing like magnetic stuff or magnetism to make the cars go under their own power. I'm like, no, it's just gravity. They just roll like we used to play when we were kids. I'm like, oh wow, because even with the eye, it looks so horizontal and flat. It looks weird. It looks like the cars are running under their own power, which kind of makes it nice if you see it in real life. I also received comments, thank you so much for those, about the different weight classes for the vehicles. Now that's one thing about this track. The more you bring down the angle of your track, the less weight plays a factor in how well or how fast the car actually goes. And it becomes more how true it runs. Is the wheel alignment okay? Is the wheel balancing okay? Does it snake down the track once it picks up speed? You know, like speed wobble, because then it hits the track more and more and it slows it down. So it becomes more about how well the car actually performs. Now, this is what we're going to do today. We've got the different vehicles in their respective time class. This is 7 to 8. These are 9 to 10, 8 to 9, and 11 to 12. But what we're going to do today is we're going to be weighing these vehicles. And this is a new little introduction, something that I have not shown you guys before. This is the little speed box that we're going to introduce today. Now, speaking of the speed box, unfortunately, at some point, I'm going to see how I can sustain this channel, kind of subsidize it, so that at least I can get out there and buy new Hot Wheels vehicles. I don't want to use the same 40 vehicles the whole time and just kind of circulate them. I think it's unfair to you guys as far as content is concerned. It's unfair to the drivers. Because once you get a vehicle, it's like, I know that one, that's not a good runner, or yeah, that's a good runner. I want to kind of mix it up and get new vehicles into the game as well. And for that, I need to think of how I'm going to monetize this channel in some way. And if you guys like the speed box idea, I thought about this last night. Maybe I can put together a little how-to video and put that on Patreon or something for a very small fee. And then I can show you the diagram, I can supply the coding, how you wire the thing, all of it, so that you can actually build for a single lane. You guys will see it just now. For a single lane to actually run your vehicles and test and see which cars of yours is faster than the other ones. And for me, that comes down to play. I think one of my earlier videos I said that all of us are collectors. We love Hot Wheels, we love how it looks, the nostalgia of it. But once you start collecting, a lot of these vehicles would actually end up just in little boxes or crates, or you display them, but when last, especially if they open, When last did you take a specific vehicle and do anything with it, or even look at it? Just look at it. So a lot of these, we have them and they kind of just get lost in translation. They just almost mispronounced it. They just sit on a shelf. Almost mixed that up. That I would have bleeped that out then. But now you can actually revisit those vehicles and do something with them, play with them. Like, don't you think it would be cool if you have, or you've got a fastest vehicle in the entire collection that you were able to run at that point? You've got one vehicle that's just so much faster than all of the others. That vehicle for me, when we've got 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to unveil that specific vehicle. It's a normal peg warmer that was bought, wasn't done anything to it. It's like straight out of the blister pack, and up to this day, nothing catches it. Nothing even gets close to it. I don't know why. That thing is just super fast. It's just a normal little vehicle, but for me, it's special because of that fact. So if you guys like the speed box idea, and maybe that I can do that, that might subsidize me to every now and then maybe go and buy a new 8-pack, buy some blister packs. Like I said, it's unfair to especially the team drivers, and just for you watching, that the same vehicles keep on running on this track. They would get pretty boring. I'm going to start running out of ideas how to mix them up and make a race interesting. So I'd appreciate any comments of how I can maybe take this forward. And if you're local, remember, you can send in your vehicles. Send in a whole bunch. You can either be the driver of your vehicles against other drivers, or we can just take your vehicles and run them against each other so that you can see, this is my fastest vehicle, my second fastest, and maybe different race classes. And then you've got something special in your collection where, as before, it was just something sitting on your shelf. I got it right that time. Now, you guys won't believe how many takes I had to do just to say good morning and get that introduction done. Like some of the comments, they say, well done for being in front of the camera on YouTube. Potentially 1,000 people listening to my voice, seeing my face. It's not easy, let me tell you that. Okay, well, let's get to the racing. So now we're looking at different weights here. We're looking at a 39.5 and 10 less at 29.66. So there's a 10-gram difference between these two vehicles. Now this you can run off just a normal 5-volt input. I just use a battery bank. There we go, race timer. Whoop, sorry, let's go that way. I might wanna, okay, and it says ready to race, and I don't know if you guys can see it. In there is all the hardware. I mean, you can make your little box the way that you want to. This is just a straightforward little design. Now, I didn't make a starting gate for this. I basically just put it right on the edge, and to make sure that I don't push it so that it goes faster, I'll just kind of help it along so that it starts running by itself. And it is through, and we've got 181.34 kilometers per hour. That's the way that I set it up. And now for the next one. So it's 181.34. And here we've got a 178.38. So it's a 181 for the heavier vehicle against a 173.38. Now, in essence, the heavier vehicles will run faster on this track because it's quite a bit of a drop going towards the speed box. So the heavier your vehicle is, the faster it's going to go. So heavier vehicles definitely have the upper hand on this little track to go through that gate faster. We are down at the track and we are ready to race. Remember, there is about a 10-gram difference, 181 and a 178. And they are off. Oh, this is a close race. What's red gonna do, lane one? Oh, there we go. And it takes a win. That's the first win. We're gonna do a lane swap with that one. That was super close. That was actually a very exciting race. Now we did a lane swap. Let's see what happens this time around. And they are off. Oh, this is going to be another very close one. Is red going to take it again? Yes. The runaway in lane 2. That is 2 out of 3 wins. And there we have it. A vehicle that is quite a bit lighter. 10 grams lighter, and best out of 3, it won twice. Actually going halfway down the track, it really picks up speed and it just goes, because it's just a better runner. So let's move on to the next vehicle. Now just remember guys, I did have to select the vehicles, pre-select them out of their time brackets, but I also had to weigh them to kind of show you guys that weight does not matter on this track. It's really what car runs better. So we've got a 32.28 against a 40 on the dot. This is a very heavy vehicle. This is one of the heaviest ones that I've weighed. And remember, they're not weighted down or anything. This is just the casting on their own, how much they weigh, against a 32.28. Now what's really nice about this little speed box, it resets itself every time. So as soon as I run the next car, it automatically just takes a time for the next vehicle. And it is off. Vip. And we have, sorry for the bad camera work, I'll put this on the table the next time. We've got a 157.62. 157.6. Okay, and our 40 gram very heavy vehicle. Let's get this one on the track, have it nice and centered. Boom, it is through. And let's see what we get on this one. 156.84. Okay, now that is interesting. Like on this very slow track already, the heavier vehicle ran a kilometer per hour slower than this one over here. So already you can see that this car is just a better runner, even at a lighter weight. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to lift this track even more. Remember, we can go up to 90 degrees or basically let the cars just free fall straight down to see what the difference in weight makes. But we just sloped it even more, and let's see how the cars perform now. Now previously this vehicle did a 156.84. Let's see what it does this time with a more sloped track. We've got 194.44 kilometers per hour. You guys know what I like about this? You know, sitting down on the floor playing like I'm like 15 again. That's what I like about this racing and stuff, you know. It's not just collecting Hot Wheels, but actually playing with them. Okay, let's see how this car performs. Down the more slope track, and it's off. Whoop. We have 194.74. Oh, you see. Now they're running more the same. So by increasing the elevation of the track, the heavier vehicle is now running better at a 194.44 with a 194. So it's catching up. Now if I had to make this angle even more, if I make the angle of the track even more, this car, because it is quite a lot heavier, it's going to start running away from this one. But this car is the better running vehicle. So now we're going to take it to the drag strip. Now this is where we separate the real cars from the wannabes, the good runners from just the heavy vehicles. They are staged. What's going to happen? What do you guys think? And they are off. Look at the gap that lane one is taking on. Whoa, that vehicle it's not even a good runner going down the track. That's going to take a long time. That's like 11, 12 second, maybe even 13-second car. Okay, next up we've got vehicles I think that are very similar. We've got a 35.59, 35.23, very close to each other. .16692, 1 versus 1, and let's see who takes the win. And I just have a feeling that Cyclone's gonna leave that other car far, far behind, because that Cyclone is just a good runner, taking a win in lane 1. But now you may ask, okay, so on this track, isn't it just the lighter vehicles, like the heavier ones, take longer to actually start rolling down the drag strip because of their weight, like the mass of it? But we're gonna now go with a heavier vehicle, 36.58 against a 36.13. So this is the lighter vehicle of the two. Got our first runner. We've got 171.97. And now second runner, 163.26. Now in this case I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. Despite the weights and the time they run through the speed box, I absolutely have no idea what's going to happen. That's what makes it exciting. And they are off. That's actually the heavier vehicle taking a huge lead. We can see that the weight does not make a difference once you start bringing down the angle of your track. And I mean, over here we've got the lighter vehicle, you know, running. These are all the cars that, the cars that won. Has to be swapped around like that over there, because that Cyclone is a fast one. And I just wanted to show you guys that yes, the heavier vehicle, if it runs better than the lighter vehicle, it will win. So it's not about the weight in this racing, but how well these vehicles perform. Like this little one, you know, has become, you know, everyone's become quite fond of this little Cyclone. It's a really good runner, and that's why I enjoy the track and built it with that in mind. And as you saw, it does make quite a big difference in how well the car performs overall. And if you guys do want to know about this speed box and how it works, let me know. You just need a simple track. You can run any track through it. It's got the little laser beams that run across. You can see the lasers shining over there against my finger, and it runs to another little hole on the other side. And then all you have, you got the Arduino set up on the inside with its coding and everything. Hopefully that video was okay. It was a short one. I'll try and record another one a little bit later, maybe like a good racing one. I'll see what kind of vehicles I can start putting together. As I mentioned, I'm not completely running out of vehicles to run, but I'm gonna have to start looking at options of getting vehicles that I can run down the track. And remember, we're always looking for a fastest vehicle, and you might actually have that. I mean, it's your vehicle, but it might be the fastest one we've ever seen on this track so far. In fact, it's hidden away somewhere. It's hidden away somewhere. It's not in the little box anymore. It's hidden away somewhere, but there's the fastest vehicle I've ever seen on this track. Nothing else beats it, and it's not Relic. Nope. Relic can be one. Relic can be Relic, and it's not Relic. Relic can be beaten. It's not a very fast car. I chose a car that's very like medium, but a good runner, so that, you know, we do stand a chance in winning him now and then, because we need to get back some of these trophies. As always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see what happens next on this channel. And that was a fun one. And thank you for the comments. Remember, I try and read all the comments, suggestions, questions. I'll try and answer them. And like I said, this little episode was because I wanted to show you guys how weight does not matter. And you know what makes it easier? I don't have to weigh any cars. I literally just race them. I don't have to weight them. I don't have to put them in classes. So for me, it makes it a little bit easier with videoing and playing around on it. If the track was more sloped, then I would have definitely had to weigh my cars to make sure they're in different classes. But a track that's made like this, it all comes down in how well the car performs. You can weigh a car up as much as you want to, it's not going to make a difference. You just need to find that car that runs perfectly. A 10-second or less car. Thank you for watching.